quick poll question on your screen. Very simple. How's your confidence on Selenium IDE right now? All right. And that's basically based on the 3-4 sessions, some HTML assignments that we've been doing. How's your confidence level? Right from no clue yet all the way to superior. Superior primarily that I'm very comfortable. Maybe there's a little learning that you can Google and get it. Okay, but you know almost in and out of it. Mid-level is okay, almost there, little bit learning, a few more, couple more hours into it or practice. Okay. Team, why are there only 50% votes in? Can I request everyone to kindly pitch in your votes and then one more poll and then we'll get started to the session. All right, I've got almost 90%. That's great. Thank you for participation, team. Let me close this poll and share the results. Can you all see the results on your screen? Audience? Yes? Yes, great. Okay, so there you go, right in front of us. I think had we started at the beginning of this numbers would have been more towards the front than towards superior. But very happy that almost 60% of you are mid-level and plus. That is good. And very initial level, 43%. To the same audience, I would love to run this poll again, maybe another week and see how you've improved, team. I'm very, very sure at least the same audience will get towards mid-level superior. Guarantee. Okay, that's good to cover one after the other. Great, thank you. One more poll, team. This is important because it is what I believe is an effort that you have to put at your end for your practice and to showcase to us that yes, we are putting that right effort. See, team, a lot of times we confuse trainings with the fact that I pay money, I have to sit back. You pay money, you don't pay money, we have to do the workout, correct? Now, when it comes to dedication, if there's a program that can put you into that and say that, okay, keep working on this, I need this update, and saying, how are you learning? That will make a lot of difference. And earlier, I used to do the evening batches, always used to be kind of running around for time. The morning batches are more relaxed. I'm able to get to interact more with you, not for the last couple of days been busy, but we've been interacting a lot. And yes, we will get into the team formations as well soon. Team, I've got just 49%, 50% votes. Can you finish that? Are you creating assignments in your personal G drive? Because we've put in about 4 assignments. And the idea is whatever work you're doing, if you're able to showcase and organize that, that is great referral for you too. You'll make some amazing project resume. Get your votes in, team. This is right from absolutely and very well organized. Could be little issues here and there, but no spell errors, no incorrect sheet names. Files are organized correctly, naming is right, that kind of an level, team. Won't you think we all want to get there? That is how we have to manage documentation. You will be working in super teams, and very fast. Your documentation will be your real help. I've got about 82% votes. I'm going to close this poll. Anyone last few to put in your votes? Organizers cannot put in, and panelists, only the attendees. Okay, I'm going to close and share. So team, there you go in front of you, the new results for this. Are you creating assignments? Almost 10% saying absolutely, and that is phenomenal, team. Congratulations, very, very highly congratulations. That is discipline. Now you take this program or continuously all through the end of it or not. Keep the same learning, team, wherever you go. Whatever you learn, organize them, put them together in your Google Drive. Get another folder for your resume and projects. Keep doing work in this passion, the same fashion. What is not bad is only 2% of you not yet. So that means that hardly any one of you, maybe one of you is not yet started. Everyone started, team, and you're organizing. That is great. Now remember, while I'm pushing you saying that the certification will get tied to these assignments, that is absolutely true. It is emphasizing that whatever you learn, put it into the right system, learn it correctly, and document everything nicely. Good job, team. We'll get to review more and more. And okay. someone joined, and okay, we'll get to know more and more. And primarily, let's focus on the fact of how we get into project works now. All right, Selenium ID, not much, but AnyAUT we can do a little project work. Great. I think I'm going to hide this and let's get started with the session. Everyone? All right, great. So, quick look, team. What were we doing yesterday? And I think I may continue to write the same document updated because we are out here somewhere, right? Let's take a quick look. What are we talking about? Manual to automation. Speed is a big issue. We want to run things faster. We want things to be better than manual issues that may typically come up. Then the reusability. Reusability is that we'll put effort, and automation should not be that, okay, it's not like a, how do you say this, the circus and the trade shows that come where you set up for that event and go. Lot of effort, even whatever you do in event programs and so on. This is much different, team. You have to talk about, if we are doing automation, then we should have a long-term vision. And how do we get there? Selenium IDE we started speaking about, and what are the three things that we use Selenium IDE for in a practical world? Okay, not in a practical world. What are the three things that you will use it for to begin with? Record and playback, write your own tests, and how do we verify elements? These are the three things that we will do. This is the main core thing, team. Okay, core activity or takeaway. All right, everything else you'll understand is pretty much easy. Now, how did our Selenium IDE look and what did we do there? Let's open this. Looks like it did open my previous test. So I have two test cases. One is interviews, the second is salaries. Now, team, what we did was execution of these tests yesterday, correct? Now, there are two tests in my project. What I could do is run all these tests one after the other. And this icon here should be able to do that. Now, let's take one more peek at what were the primary things that we were looking at. Here is for running. This is for speed control. This is more of opening new projects, save, and so on. We've not come to breakpoints. We've seen the record button, correct? And we've also seen that under this project, we have various tests that we created. And we know log files will tell us what step failed, why it failed. Reference will help us to look at documentation for every command that has been pre-programmed, right? We also know that the three main things that have in Selenium IDE, there's the command, target, and value. Command basically becomes what is it that we want to achieve with that step. Okay, as a user uses a keyboard and mouse to interact with the web application on the browser, um, Selenium tries to simulate, emulate, or recreate those same steps on the browser too. Now, to do that, all these commands have been pre-programmed where it says if I just say open, it does a certain thing. If I say set window size, it does certain thing. Click certain thing, type certain thing. So each of these commands, you will be able to look at the reference and see what it is. But most importantly, for you to master them, keep writing few tests or record them, note them correctly, and execute them. All right. Now let's me erase these drawings and look at what we have. Um, Speed. Let's see, where is it? Okay, it's somewhere in the mid. That should be fine. I'm going to run both these tests. I'm not very confident that it'll run and do an amazing thing, but just let's see what happens. Some activity is definitely happening, which is good. My intent is right now, there are only a couple of tests that I did. In a real world scenario, there'll be 1,000 tests, correct? So it is not to sit in front of the system and say, hey, what is happening? It is to let this test run. They may run for a couple of hours or overnight and focus on the result at the back. Okay. Now see, the resize of this window happened through the test case execution. Now, after the completion of this test, you would notice how the um, overall thing looks, team. So primarily, is it completed? Yeah, execution is done, right? Every step kind of went through very nicely and it kind of passed, right? Every step is going through in a smooth way, and that is good, team. So this way you can write all your tests and store them. Now, what is it that we need to really master out here? What is it that you have to really think about? So there are two columns that are very important, team. The command with all the list of things, and this is a finite list. So you'll know exactly what all are there. You can experiment and play around. Here, the list of about maybe half a dozen, not half a dozen, 1 dozen, six, yeah, not half a dozen, about 5, 6 dozens of keywords, team. Okay. Now, when I say keywords, those are the commands. The next one is the most important, target. And each of these steps that are getting executed, this target is how it is identifying the where portion. Any questions? I see a couple of hands raised, and um, so I'm just seeing. Oh, wow. Okay, there's something saying that location did not change to SFO. Maybe I gave San Francisco, California, so it should change. The where do we do it is the most important thing that we'll focus on today, team, and how we identify. And then the value is primarily to execute some steps you may need information, like what text I want to put in here, or what I may want to draw, drag from the drop down list, what text I may want to verify, are the specific numbers that I'm verifying. These becomes input to your steps, team. So manual steps, remember when we were saying, hey, let's write a test case. And for that test case, let us see as to uh, what is the expected result, what is the actual result, and be able to compare. So those values that you really need to work, where you can change things and see how application is working, all goes into the value field, team. Okay. I believe it was named info earlier, if I'm not wrong. I'm talking about like 7, 8 years back or more. All right, so now what is it that we want to do? I want to write another test, but this time I want to do it my way and be able to identify elements. The way I'm going to progress, team, is let's talk about a different application. Should we do it on AnyAUT.com at the sign up? It is, the reason is it is pretty easy for us to, I'm going to open always in a private browser, team. The reason is you have to look at applications not in signed in mode to be able to test them. And we anyway have to get to AnyAUT next. It's an application that will help us test. It's got decent fields, everything. You all have signed in. You all used to. How can we write few tests quickly? That's what we're looking at. All right. Any questions before I go forward, team? Any questions, anyone? Just put all your questions. I'm going to take a minute and see if there's anything important that I can quickly address. Then we'll continue with this. Let's see. Location did not change to SF4. Some issues seem to be happening on IDE recorder run. Let's look at them now. Okay. Let us look at simpler application. So we will learn the basics and fundamentals correctly, and then we'll slowly start adding the complexities for it. Fair enough. Next question. The test is not taking the location correctly when executing. That is correct. So sometimes the information that is given by IDE when we record it may not be correct. This target thing, and that is what we're going to work on now. Anthony, you've made some test cases here on AnyAUT login. You want me to look at it? Cool, sure. I would love to look at them. Paste and go. You made it in using a Selenium IDE thing, is it? Cool, sure. So what I'll do is I'm gonna cut it from here and put it into our folder. Where was our folder? Yeah, here. And see if I can import it. Okay, I'll come to it. Not yet. Just remind me as we go along. All right, Anthony. There you go. Hi, Karthik. I have an issue with AnyAUT test steps page where radio buttons, which are mandated to be selected, are absent. Okay, we'll look into it. I don't think there's an issue on the UI. Maybe, I don't know, because it's not been pointed so far. It could be more of the process. We'll go through that. We're not there yet. Hi, Kat, the location is not changing even after successfully running the test. Which location is it this? Let's see. What is it that's happening? All of you seem to see again, team. Let me be honest, I'm not an expert on IDE because it is very limited. You hardly can stick and do anything on it. You have to get towards Eclipse. There is no question on it, team. I'm making it sound very simple to begin with. So you master, you learn what are these, but we'll have to move on from IDE. So what you're doing is should be more about what are the commands, what are the targets. Once we get it, we'll write our WebDriver scripts. But anyway, let's go through them. How do we have to learn alert set window in Selenium IDE? No, the alerts switch between windows and so on. Let's learn it more in WebDriver because in IDE there'll be a lot of limitations and you'll really not use it. IDE more use it like element identifications and so on. Okay. How to open Glassdoor in incognito mode through Selenium. So Shamim, you can open it as a WebDriver based Chrome browser. So Chrome WebDriver will be opened up when you do that run. Here it's opening up in a regular. I don't know from an IDE perspective. And Shamim, it is almost like a incognito mode. When I run this tests, any tests on Selenium WebDriver, what happens is that test gets executed on a new window, which is a WebDriver. So it'll look like a incognito window, all right? It still shows the diff. Okay. Is the Selenium application better than the Catalan application for automation testing? Selenium, so I'm still working on to be able to present the primary differences between both. We'll look at them towards the end of this training team. One thing that is very important for you to understand is Selenium IDE or Catalan IDE are very similar and they're limited. Catalan Studio, when you kind of, I'm sorry, this Catalan Recorder more than I call an IDE. Catalan Studio, you go more, is like a QTP type or a HP UFT type tool that you work on your desktop and you write a lot of stuff on it. So there are certain differences that we will explore, but primarily the fact that what was the question? Which is better? No, I don't think either. Catalan as a studio is getting very popular, but still market is totally ruled by Selenium team as a base. So Catalan is a good add-on. Without Selenium, if you just say I know Catalan doesn't make sense. That's what I feel. Because the core of automation is Selenium right now. Any login test cases here? Okay, I got that. Can we really create models and test cases in AnyAUT through Selenium? Good questions. We are creating a lot of models. We'll come there, Devika. Not yet. Hi Karthik, I'm comfortable with record and run the script, but not with writing the script. Sure, and that's what we look at today. I don't think there's anything else. I would like to get back to the session. Let me see a couple more questions. I don't want to dishonor anyone. Um, Anthony, I think I got it right. So let me know if I didn't get it. Here's a Google Sheet. Okay, I can open the Google Sheet too. This could be the manual test, is it? So you've shared one was a Selenium IDE project, I believe. And next, this is the Google Sheet. So you kind of, okay, two applications. You have, okay, nice. You have application and test module description. So you kind of put everything into one since you're working on it. That's fine too. As they go more and more, you can segregate or do it at the beginning itself. 1 second, team. Sorry, not been doing very well on little on the throat and cold. All right, so this is good job, team. I like the way it is being done. Very neatly presented, very neatly done. Good inspiration. So the test steps and that are getting manually executed, I believe. And maybe this, wow, how many test steps did you write? They're very good. Great job, Anthony. Really perfect. Awesome. Now let's see. I like the flow. See, as I was scrolling, couple of things I noticed. One, see, there is the first row is frozen. So if you go to data and say filter, or here, filter, and where? View, freeze, top row, and so on. So it's very easy for me to scroll. Second is look at the naming. I have the application, I have the module, test case ID, nice naming convention, test case, verify login with correct name and correct password. So, okay, so this is the main thing, and nice. So this is what, enter correct, what am I getting? Enter incorrect, what am I getting? Enter, so combinations of it. Very nice. Good. It's all about passwords. This is good coverage. About 6, 7 scenarios, 9 scenarios return just around the tests about username and correct password, this combination, and blank password, blank, blank. Excellent. Great job, Anthony. Very proud on this. Excellent. Very nice. Okay, cool. So team, this is what I think we need to be looking at from when I say maintaining good type Google Drive with everything nicely organized. This would categorize as that. Okay, where are we? Now we're back to Selenium IDE. Let us do something very similar. One of these logins where I give an incorrect wrong username and wrong password. So manual test case A log TC004 is out here. Let's look at it. Let's all look at TC004. If I don't think I can edit the sheets, I could just kind of give it here. Now open Chrome browser, go to the application, click login button, enter wrong username, wrong password, click sign in, verify that this text comes invalid email or password. Let us do this, team. And now this time I wouldn't want to do it as a record and run. First, let's open a new project. And I'm not very fluent with this. I'm just going with the flow of IDE, but absolutely automation, that is where we will focus. AnyAUT test underscore. 1 second, team. All right, so I've got that there. AnyAUT underscore test. Now we're trying to do the same steps out here, team. How do I do those steps? How do I write it? By just looking at this application, okay? And maybe the same steps that we're getting out here. All right, how do I do it? The first thing I would do, team, is look at the commands and remember what I did earlier. So let's open up this test, rename this, same name, A underscore log underscore TC004. The only difference between what I did and Anthony here is log. I wrote it as lower because otherwise it may sound something else. I don't know. I mean, abbreviated it looks. So it's just a name like SAL is lower. Job also can be JOB lower that way. But just a feedback. Either way is fine. Looks awesome. Now, how do I do that? The first and foremost thing is get a base URL, team, and we need that. That is the AnyAUT.com. So let's go and put this and say, I need to go to this base URL. All right. Whenever we have a question, we'll go back and look at maybe what we did as a record and run. But what's the first command? Remember, everyone, can you all interact with me? To open a browser out here, I know what I'll use. All right. But then out here, I need to go to that command. Right? So it's the same thing where it opens it and I put a target as a slash at the end, and then I don't need one here. So this should basically do it. I'm not sure. Let's run it. Does it do it? Great. What is the next step, team? I want it to click on, let me resize these two. Click on the login button link, right? So how do I do that? The way we have to do is first we write the command, which is sounds like a click. I have 4 choices of click. Double click, I don't think we do double click on a simple button. We just do click, so that will be here. Click at, what is the difference between click on and click at? Let's look at that thing, okay? 1 second. Sorry, I hope it's not a flu for me. I need to get the shots too. Are there any messages? Anything? So what is the difference between click and clicket, and how do we investigate these? How do you do it at your end continuously? So click basically goes to the element and clicks on that element. It's a simple click, a target element. We are not yet come to the target. Okay, we're coming there. But then we have something called click at, and the difference in the literature, at least, it says that click on a target element. The coordinates are relative to the target element 0, 0. So primarily, if I can tell you, explain to you how that works is, let us say this is my target element, the whole login. Okay. So 0, 0 is the kind of the XY position, the coordinates for that specific, the whole thing. Okay. In that, if I say do it at 100, 100, it'll come here. Maybe 100, 10 will be somewhere here, like that. So it can click on a specific location on that element. That is the difference, team. Now, do you need to dig at that level? Not yet. Stay simple and focused on the main commands, and then we'll expand. Now, the second thing is the target that we have to add for this. I have to click on this. I know it manually. How does Selenium know? There are two ways. You can find the target in page or select the target in page. Select primarily gives you the ability to click on it, and it's like almost an action item, and take it to click on the login, and it should be able to capture this information. 1 second. Sorry, my throat was kind of giving it. So right now, the target is kind of coming. How I just use the simple technique of select the target in the page, through which I'm adding it into the field here. What is the CSS a login button? Don't worry about it right away. The most important thing that we will encounter is out here is the part of element identification. Different ways to identify elements. Okay, web elements. Now,